vaccinated. And so I wish the CDC would say that in places where unvaccinated and vaccinated people are mixing, lots of
Fairchild, I said,
a vaccination.
I'm supposed to be sleeping on my back at night because of my biopsy.
You know, as we look at all
And I
this,
can't sleep on my back.
So
she said, don't worry about that.
Kids at this point, all of those under 12 don't even have the option of getting the vaccine, as we know. So Dr. Shane, children now account for 1 in 6 new cases. A number of states are heading back to school in the next couple of weeks. The guidance from the American Academy of Pediatrics that came out on Monday is for universal masking, regardless of vaccination status in schools. But the reality is at least 9 states now have bans on mask requirements in public schools. So I'm curious, Dr. Shane, looking at that this morning, what is your biggest concern about what we may see in the coming weeks among children?
So that's a great question, and thank you. I think that just as Dr. Wynn emphasized, it is extremely important that we're now entering what seems to be the third wave. And because so many children under the age of 12 cannot be protected with vaccination, universal masking is really the best option to protect our entire community. Our bottom line really is that in-person education and in-person schooling is best for our children, it's best for our community. And so anything that we can do to optimize that, which includes universal mask wearing, is really the best way to protect our children and our communities.
There's so much talk about when more children, when younger children will be eligible for the vaccine. We know that data from the current trials is expected sometime late fall, early winter, but then of course that's just the data. The process to even gain an EUA could take far longer than that. You know, Dr. Shane, this process was fairly quick when it came to an emergency use authorization for adults. Why is it taking longer to have that data and ultimately, hopefully, that EUA for children?
Yes, thanks, Monica. So one of the big challenges is that children are not just little adults, and so they're different ages and they're different weights, and so one of the big challenges has been trying to determine the most efficacious and the safest dose for children. And so it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. And looking backwards from oldest children first to youngest children, figuring out exactly what the best dose is has been one of the most time-consuming aspects of the trials in children.
As we look at the different vaccines, Dr. Wen, I know you received the J&J vaccine.
Well.
There's this test tube study that finds some evidence it may require